so I missed their session, so I don't know actually what they talked about, what they didn't talk about. Two, I feel shy to discuss anything really after they've already talked about the same topic, so inshallah we'll keep it brief. Just maybe some reflections. And I'm trying to remember the exact nas of the narration I wanted to share with you, and I'm having difficulty doing so. I'll share with you what I remember, and whatever else I'll tell you the meaning of what the hadith says. The Prophet ﷺ, he would tell his companions at the time of the coming of Ramadan, قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ شَهْرُ رَمَضَانَ شَهْرٌ مُبَارَكٌ. So that indeed Ramadan has come to you. It's a blessed month, a month full of blessings. Now, this hadith, what the Prophet ﷺ outlines in this hadith, the scholars say is the basis, Ibn Rajab, he says, is the basis by which, when Ramadan comes, we all say Ramadan Mubarak. We give each other hugs and say Ramadan Kareem, and we congratulate one another on the coming Ramadan. He says, this is why. What this hadith tells us is why we congratulate one another on the coming Ramadan. He says, Prophet ﷺ says, قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ شَهْرُ رَمَضَانَ شَهْرٌ مُبَارَكٌ افترض الله عليكم صيامه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made obligatory upon you the fasting of its days. Now, one thing that's often overlooked is this concept of fasting. We just do it because we do it. We fast from dawn to sunset, and it is what it is. We don't eat, we don't drink, we just abstain from what we're supposed to abstain from dawn to sunset. But what's amazing, brothers and sisters, is the reward of fasting. And before we move on with the hadith, we'll share this first part, the reward of fasting. Incredible reward. The Prophet ﷺ, he even said in a hadith Qudsi, that Allah subhanahu says that كل عمل ابن آدم له إلا الصيام فإنه لي وأنا أجزي به. That every deed that the son of Adam does is for him. I mean, everything you do, if you're praying, if you go to Hajj, if you give zakah, anything you do can be seen by other people, can be known by other people. But when it comes to fasting, no one knows if you're fasting or not. You could come in Ramadan, in a day of fasting, you could come to the masjid and people think you're fasting. You come eat iftar and people think you're fasting. But somebody could have been at home and eating all he wants. And it tests the true taqwa of the believer. Just like in the ghaib, when no one is watching, we don't break our fast. Just like that, Allah teaches us the point of Ramadan is to gain taqwa. So outside of Ramadan, when no one else is watching around us, do we still fear Allah in the other things He has made haram? And a man, he came to the Prophet, and I'm forgetting the name of the Sahabi. He came to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, before a battle, he said, Ya Rasulullah, ud'u Allah li bishahada. We recited the verses in Surah An-Imran about the rewards of the shuhada, the martyrs. Allah says, لا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات. Amwata, don't say they're dead. بل أحياء, they're living. They've been died in the way of Allah. The shuhada in Syria and in Palestine and across the world, when they die, they're not dead. بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. They're with their Lord being given provision. فرحين بما آتاهم الله من فضله. And they are happy and rejoicing in what Allah has given them from His bounty. ويستبشرون بالذين لم يلحقوا بهم من خلفهم. And they want to give glad tidings to those who have not yet joined them, us, the people of this world. That if you die a shaheed, لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. No fear, you will never grieve. You'll have Jannah. You're never going to be sad or worried. You have the best reward. يستبشرون بنعمة من الله وفضل. They're rejoicing in the ni'mah of Allah and the bounty of Allah. وأن الله لا يضيع أجر المؤمنين. And Allah will never cause the deeds of a believer to go to waste. The man comes to the Prophet and says, Ya Rasulullah, ud'u Allah li bishahada. Oh Rasulullah, I want to die shaheed, so make dua that I die shaheed in this battle. The Prophet says, Allahumma sallimhu wa ghannimhu. Oh Allah, protect him, grant him security, and grant him from the booty of war. He says the second time, Ya Rasulullah, ud'u Allah li bishahada. I want to go to Jannah. I want the reward of the shuhada, a reward like no one else has. The Prophet again said, Allahumma sallimhu wa ghannimhu. Oh Allah, protect him and give him from the bounty. 3 times this happened. So the man went into battle and the dua came true. He didn't die shaheed, and he took from the booty of war. So he came to the Prophet after the battle and he says, Ya Rasulullah, I came to you and I asked you 3 times to make dua that I die shaheed. You made dua that I be protected. So he says, And I'm forgetting the exact nas, I believe, Allahu A'lam, it's فَدُلَّنِي عَلَىٰ عَمَلٍ إِذَا عَمِلْتُهُ أَدْخُلُ بِهِ الْجَنَّةِ أو كما قال. And he says, guide me to an action. طيب, you didn't make dua that I die shaheed. So guide me to an action that if I do it, then I will by virtue of this action enter Jannah. And the Prophet said, عَلَيْكَ بِالصِّيَامِ فَإِنَّهُ لَا مِثْلَ لَهَا. Stick to fasting, because there is nothing equivalent to it. And we do this for 30 days. Just the statement of the Prophet ﷺ, the statement of Allah, Hadith Qudsi, that I am going to reward fasting. You don't know the reward of fasting, I'm going to take care of it. That's why when the believer fasts, the Prophet said he has two happinesses. One, when he breaks his fast, and the second happiness, when he meets his Lord. Can you imagine? People will be scared, people will be worried, people will be frightened on the Day of Judgment, but the one who stuck to fasting, when he comes to Allah, he's happy. He's happy he's meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Prophet says first in this hadith, افترض الله عليكم صيامه. Then he says, and I'm forgetting the exact Arabic, so I'll share with you the meaning of what the Prophet said. He says, in the month of Ramadan, the gates of Jannah are opened. Now, why would any believer not rejoice and celebrate at the gates of Jannah being opened? Anyone who longs for Allah, anyone who has any just basic understanding of our purpose in this life, to earn the pleasure of Allah, to ultimately get to Jannah, anyone who knows that Jannah is our home, is our original home, and this world is we're like, you know, like when I'm traveling now, I came from Michigan, I'm here for just I leave tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, I'm here for just 3-4 days. When you go traveling to wherever city, and you spend 2-3 days in the hotel, do you go and change the carpet and buy nice posters and buy some nice curtains and everything, and, you know, buy a nice new bed and a couch in your hotel room? No, that's foolish. You're only staying a couple days. That's how the believers are in this world. We're here just a couple days. So we don't like build our home here. No, our home is in Jannah. And we're homesick right now. We're longing for Jannah. We long to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, Ibrahim alayhi salam, when the angel of death came to him, the angel of death for the prophets, they take permission before they take the lives of the prophets. So the angel of death comes to Ibrahim alayhi salam and he says, whoa, hold on, buddy. أَرَأَيْتَ خَلِيلًا يُمِيتُ خَلِيلًا. He's like, I don't understand. I am the Khalil of Allah. I am the best friend of Allah. Do you understand the scenario in which Allah, my best friend, will kill me? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أوحى إلى إبراهيم, He inspired to Ibrahim, يا إبراهيم أرأيت حبيبا يكره لقاء حبيبه. Oh Ibrahim, have you ever seen someone who loves another hate meeting the one he loves? Allah saying, do you hate meeting me, Ibrahim? You're coming to meet me. And he says, يا ملك الموت اقبضني الآن. Oh angel of death, take me now. Let me go meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but when he was given the choice, what did he say? بل الرفيق الأعلى, بل الرفيق الأعلى. I want to have the highest companionship. In the month of Ramadan, the gates of Jannah are open, and the believer, he longs for Jannah. He longs for Jannah. It's as if that we live our lives in this world just, a woman in the old times, one from the Salaf, she says, لَقَدْ سَئِمْتُ الْحَيَاةِ. I've become so bored and tired and sick of this dunya, this world. And she says, وَلَوْ وَجَدْتُ الْمَوْتِ يُبَاعَ لَاشْتَرَيْتُهُ شَوْقًا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَحُبًّا لِلِقَائِهِ. She says, and if I found death being sold in the street, I would have purchased it. Out of longing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And out of my love to meet Him. So they told her, that's a pretty bold statement you're making. You would buy death. I mean, who do you think you are? A superstar. You got Jannah written for you, guaranteed. They tell her, أَفَعَلَى ثِقَةٍ أَنْتِ مِنْ عَمَلِكَ. Are you so confident in your actions, you think your Jannah is just guaranteed for you? She says, no. وَلَكِنْ بِحُبِّي إِيَّاهِ وحسن ظني به اشتقت إلى لقياه. She says, no, but out of my love for Allah, and out of my good thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm longing to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then she says, أَفَتَرَاهُ يُعَذِّبُنِي وَأَنَا أُحِبَّهُ. Can you imagine a scenario in which Allah will punish me when I love Him? I love Allah. Do you think He will torture me in hellfire when I love Him? He's Arhamur Rahimeen. The gates of Jannah are opened. Then the Prophet ﷺ says, the gates of hellfire are closed. Ya Allah. The gates of hell are closed. So the sinner, the one who struggles every day, maybe we struggle and we fall into sin every day. They hear this news. The gates of hell are closed and they rejoice. Ya Allah, what a gift. The gates of hell are closed. You're giving me a chance to be freed from hellfire. And the believer, when he knows the gates of hell are closed, he makes more and more dua to Allah. Oh Allah, you have allowed me in this world for the gates of hell to be closed on me. So oh Allah, in akhirah, close the gates of hell on me. And forbid my body on hellfire. The believer rejoices, the strong, the salih, he rejoices, the weak believer rejoices, the Muslim rejoices, the sinner rejoices. Everybody has a reason to celebrate Ramadan. And then the Prophet ﷺ says, فِيهِ لَيْلَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ. In Ramadan is a night that is better than 1,000 months, better than 83 years. Then he says, مَنْ حُرِمَ خَيْرُ تِلْكَ اللَّيْلَةِ فَقَدْ حُرِمَ الْخَيْرِ. The one who has been deprived of the goodness of this night, it is as if he has been deprived of goodness, period, altogether. He's been deprived of goodness altogether. Brothers and sisters, this night of Ramadan, the best night that we will witness in our lives. A night in which ibadah done, just one ibadah, one prayer done, is like you prayed this prayer for 83 years. 1,000 months, 30,000 nights, the same one prayer, $1 spent equals $30,000 spent. What a gift. And even the scholars say the nations before us, they used to live long times. Nuh alayhi salam lived 950 years. Our ummah, the average lifespan is between 60 and 70 years. So how can we compete with them? How can our deeds compete with their deeds? By Laylatul Qadr. You witnessed Laylatul Qadr and you just added 83 years worth of worship. Twice, 166 years worth of worship. 3 times, you can do the math. A gift of Allah. And that's why in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, not just the last 10 odd nights, the last 10 nights, not just the 27th night, every odd night specifically, but definitely every odd night, but do all the last 10 nights. So you don't miss out, because the Prophet says, مَنْ حُرِمَ خَيْرُ تِلْكَ اللَّيْلَةِ فَقَدْ حُرِمَ الْخَيْرِ. Whoever is deprived of the goodness of this night is deprived of goodness altogether. Ibn Rajab, he says, by this hadith, this is the basis by which the believers congratulate one another. So Ramadan is coming, and we have to get ready for Ramadan. And the thing is, and we'll close with two points. Number one, we find this burnout factor in Ramadan. People start with a strong spirit, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days in, and then the spirit kind of dims down. And then when the last 27th night comes, mashallah, everybody's back in business. How do we avoid that? You see, brothers and sisters, when you're running a marathon, when you're doing a marathon, let's say you're running like a 5K, those 5K mile walks, those kind of things. Let's say you go on a 5-mile run. Can you do it if you've never jogged in the last year? You're going to pass out within the first block. You won't make it to Tuscany Estates. You're going to say, Shaykh, take it easy. Why? Because you haven't been getting ready for it. So Ramadan is a marathon. And if you don't do the deeds that you used to do in Ramadan and the previous Ramadan, outside of Ramadan, you're going to fall into the same trap every year. You're not going to be able to compete and hang with those who are sabiqun as-sabiqun. who are rushing to the mercy of Allah. You won't be able to compete. Why? Because in the last 11 months, you haven't been preparing yourselves. And the point of Ramadan is what you train yourself to do in Ramadan. You choose some things from that and you keep that with you. You never let go of it until the next Ramadan. So when Ramadan comes again, you can kick it into another gear. If you're stuck in neutral from the beginning, you can't get into 5th gear in Ramadan. You're going to be in 1st gear maybe at best. But if outside of Ramadan you're in 1st, you're improving, you go to 2nd and 3rd, now in Ramadan you can kick it up another notch. So the reason why we make the same mistake every year and we fall into the same problems is because outside of Ramadan we haven't been working on preparing ourselves and improving. So every Ramadan there's an improvement in our lives. So we only have a month left. The Salaf, they used to say that Ramadan and the next 5 months after, they would make dua to Allah to accept the deeds they did in Ramadan. The next 6 months they're making dua to Allah, Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. Do you understand that? Do you understand what that means? That means their lives revolved around Ramadan. They're making dua for 6 months. Oh Allah, let me witness Ramadan again. And it's a weak hadith, but the hadith we know that the Prophet would say in the month of Rajab, he would say, Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban wa ballighna Ramadan. Oh Allah, bless us in these 2 months and allow us to reach Ramadan. Now the last point I'll mention is Allah says, as Ustad Nu'man, I believe he mentioned yesterday, the ayats in Surah Baqarah, يَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامِ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed to you as has been prescribed to those before you, so that you may gain taqwa. So the point of Ramadan is to gain taqwa, to increase in taqwa. But then he says, أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ. It's for an appointed number of days. And this is important. Because you see, brothers and sisters, we know Ramadan is only 30 days. It's not 31, it's not 32, maybe it's 29 or it's 30, that's it. 30 days. Now, people love Ramadan so much, maybe they I wish Ramadan could be the whole year long. But Allah says no, it's for a fixed number of days. And so you know Ramadan ends within 29 or 30 days. You know that. And when you have a deadline, it's different in knowing you have to keep working versus if you don't have a deadline. You know, if your boss doesn't give you a deadline at work, you'll just take it easy until you get the job done. But just like Ramadan is fixed number of days, our lives are fixed number of days. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says in the Quran, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ, which is translated as every soul will taste death, but that's not accurate. That's كُلُّ نَفْسٍ سَتَذُوقُ الْمَوْتِ. Allah says, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. وَكَلِمَةَ ذَائِقَةِ اسم فاعل. It's the doer of a verb, and when you say that in Arabic, that signifies progression, something that is continuously, constantly happening. So a better translation is, every soul is not will taste death, every soul is tasting death. Meaning from the moment you were born, it's a countdown. Right now, you and I are tasting death. Every time Hassan Basri says, your life is just a number of breaths. Every time you breathe, one is taken off the counter. Every time our heart beats, it's a beat taken off the counter. We're only given a fixed number of beats in our lives. A fixed number of seconds, a fixed number of days. Our lives are ayyam ma'dudat, are fixed and appointed. How many people you know, brothers and sisters, who were here last Ramadan, they're not here this Ramadan? You know, even in Michigan, there was a brother, subhanAllah, in Ramadan. He's an old man, he had a white beard, white hair, he was an old man, and I would always see him in the masjid teaching Qur'an. MashaAllah, he was in the masjid all the time teaching the kids Qur'an. In Ramadan, they had iftar at his house. The people came over, they ate, and then they had the TV on, and they're watching the haram. You know, they showed the footage of the haram with the recitation and everything. He saw that, and so something clicked in his heart. He's like, I want to go to the masjid. Now he was very old, and so the family actually preferred he stayed home, but he kind of snuck out for Taraweeh and Isha. He just left, he didn't tell anybody, he left. Went to the masjid, began praying. I don't know if it was a fard or sunnah, I don't remember, but he began praying. Went to ruku', Sami'allahu Hamida, went into sujood. He kind of spent a long time. Those of you here yesterday, we talked about sujood and the power of sujood. He spent a long time in sujood. Very long. Until finally the people came to him and they kind of just to check, is he okay? They checked on him. He was dead. He died in Ramadan. In Ramadan. After completing fasting, in the masjid, in prayer, in sajda. So brothers and sisters, our lives are fixed, a short number of moments, that's it. just like Ramadan is. And we have to take advantage of our lives, just like we have to take advantage of Ramadan. So inshallah ta'ala, with that we'll end and we'll go to the breakfast. We ask Allah to give us number one, to give us the life to witness Ramadan again. And we ask Allah ta'ala to accept from us, and we ask Allah ta'ala to give us the tawfiq to fast the way that is appropriate and appropriate, and we ask Allah to give us the tawfiq to pray Taraweeh and to pray Qiyam al-Layl and to pray Tahajjud. We ask Allah to allow us to witness the night of Laylatul Qadr. Allahumma ameen.